everybody,
Hey,
welcome back to Prep Talk Live, episode 16, the fastest episode we ever going to put together. The speediest, we're on top of things. There will be no off the rails. That will
yeah,
not happen in this
let's keep
episode.
it on topic on this one.
We're right down the middle on this one. Welcome in, everybody. Episode 16. I'm Casey with Cascadia Dispatch. Joining me, as always, the most popular prepping live streamer on the planet.
No,
Top the urban
not.
prepper. What's going on? How are you? How's your 401k?
Thanks to Full Spectrum Survival, this 401k matching plan, it was going better. It's going pretty well. So,
urban prepper is a little like he's wearing the hat normally for sentimental reasons. Tonight it was to keep the rain off his head because Full Spectrum was
just like, hey, look at
just
this the prepping bucks coming in. Here you go.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, welcome in, everybody. We already have more people. You did the Q&A right before.
I wanted to help bring some of the folks over, and we need to totally do one with on the main channel too, or we should do it like on a cadence. But yeah, for sure,
we'll do one on the main stage one of these days. Yeah, we gotta. I got a couple ideas of
April. How about sometime we'll get an April date going?
Sure, yeah, that's fine. April, we can do it on Saturday.
Again,
I don't care. We don't plan this. We just show up, and you and me, and 30 to 40 minutes, and it is what it is.
Yeah, YouTube always says, "Oh, don't do the live streams, or it's your audience doesn't like them," and because the YouTube studio tells me recommendations and stuff.
Yeah,
we don't listen to advice. So
no, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. So anyway, I see a lot of our usuals. Pigs Fly is in here. I think I saw Amy is in here. Prepping Penguins in here. For anybody who is new to Prep Talk Live, because there's way more people in here than we normally have at any given time. Prep Talk Live is the opposite of the Doom Zone. We're the bad boys of prepping who laugh and smile while we're talking about things. We are I think we're that. We're Cliff and Casey. We're Tough and the Loved One. It is what it is.
The Doomsday is a hilarious name, but we need to have like the opposite of whatever the Dooms, which just the Smile Crew. I don't know
what. Beaming on Teams or something like that. I don't know. We'll come up with something. So anyway, welcome in. This is where we talk for about a half an hour to an hour about prepping related things. We have a very loose schedule and itinerary that rarely ever stays on top or task. But tonight, Tup's got to go at 6 o'clock. So unlike normal, when I try to get him out the door at 6 o'clock, which is what we agreed to normally, and then he decides to talk,
I could probably go like to 6:10. I think is what I could do.
See, here we go. Yeah. So I'm trying to be on top, be nice and polite and everything, and then he makes me look like a schmuck on the show.
Don't lie to the audience.
Exactly. Oh my goodness! If you haven't already, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. My channel has almost gotten to 8,000. It's been stuck at like 790, 79.9 something for like a week and a half. Tubbs' channel, as I mentioned last week, is at about 3,000,004. He had a live stream today. I'm sure he's at almost 4 million at this point. It just keeps going and going and going in his world.
Mine's a slow. I mean, I don't. We happy preppers. We often don't trend. We don't have viral videos typically.
That's why
it's a slow burn.
We're the bad boys of prepping for a reason.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a slow burn that you don't notice until it's too late. Yeah. Let's talk about what we did this week.
Sorry.
You knew it was coming. You just didn't know from when or why. And for the people who have watched the other 15 episodes, you also knew it was coming at some point. And that is why we are the #1 podcast for preppers and non-preppers. Not just for preppers, because Casual Prepping Podcast has got to be the #1 for preppers. We are the #1 for preppers and non-preppers. That's a key
for prepper adjacent.
Exactly.
First off, it's good to see a couple of all the new folks here that are coming. Denise, good to see you. Good to see you over here, and also we got a prepper agenda. That's great to see. I'm just kind of looking at some of the faces in the chat room, but yeah, cool. This week for prepping, I don't know. Does videos count? I mean, I'm backlogged. I need like a stat. I need a team.
I know
all the other cool channels are they talk in terms of like we're working on this, or we're happy, we're proud of this video, or and I'm like, well, I want a we. I don't know. Wait,
That was one of those things that you learned
did
in marketing.
I say that? Yeah,
yeah, that was one of the things that you learned in marketing class. Not that specifically. That's more biology class. It's like in marketing class, you learn to always refer to we and everything, and it sounds like you have a team, whether or not you do. With that's like fake it till you make it sort of thing.
Yeah,
but
I need a wardrobe and makeup. I need like a communications director. I need an editor. I need also a graphics designer.
Yeah, yeah. You need the whole suite of people. I think. Yeah, Bernie. I'm super excited that Bernie is here. Yeah. Prepper Agenda is calling Bernie out. I thought Bernie was going to pass out at the end of the live stream with you. There were so many comments he was moderating. I was like, he's going to tap out at some point.
Yeah, Bernie's awesome. He makes everything go. He makes so many things fun to do, and like it's the unsung hero sometimes on like these kind of things. Like so far we get our fair share of bots on this live stream too, but but Bernie really helps keep things clean, keep it civil, and keep it family friendly. So
yes, Prepping Penguin, we're very excited to see you. And yes, the Lego wall has undergone some changes since the last time I was on Tup's main channel doing the stream with him. We have redesigned some things. We are shifting things out. Currently we are featuring the bug out vehicle collection. That's what we're going with. We got the Land Rover and the Raptor and the van. There's a Jeep or something like that. I'm building I'm building the James Bond car, because I mean, if you're going to bug out, you might as well have a James Bond car. That seems reasonable to everyone. Yeah. But yes, more Legos to come. My children are feverishly building them to display over here as fast as they can. So stay tuned. We will continue to be moving out. So you're working on videos. That's what you did last week. I did we've been talking about the TikTok freezer for the last 3 weeks or something. Yeah. So we finally actually moved the things in the garage to actually put that where it needs to go. We got some new shelves at Costco, which I love their industrial shelving. It's fantastic. So we got some of that. My wife is super thrilled that I made a gigantic mess, but she's actually kind of excited because she's going to get to organize it, and she is the organizing queen of our house. So she's very excited. And I have told her about your color-coded dot thing.
It's been working out so well for us.
She is on board, and the dots are coming to our house. That is a happening thing.
I think we I forget the link that we put in for the dots, those sheets that I put. I think thousands of sheets of dots have been going all around the world. It seems like so it's cool to see that the dot program is going according to it's going well. So, and
you sold out all the dots.
Yeah, we sold out dots. So Chris, good to see Chris Lee from the UK over there. That's who's talking about bulges. What's going on here?
Yeah. Prepping Penguin. Oh no, you guys are on TikTok. Who is doing the prepper bulge in the boom challenge?
I should probably do a prepper bulge video on TikTok. I'd probably get some more views on it.
You would get 3 million views.
And
that's what would happen right there. Yeah. And it would be stitched. That's the best part, is you would do it and then it's going to get stitched everywhere.
And people start duetting it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's fantastic. All right. So in the interest of time, because we are doing the fastest prep talk live that
is it show and tell time right off the bat?
It is show and tell time. We talked about what we did in the week. You know this. We've done this 16 times now. We do what we talk about, and then we do show and tell, and then we talk about a random topic, and usually in there we get lost 4 or 5 times on things that just are completely unrelated, and then we end.
We get sidetracked. We talk about we's and stuff like that. So let's
exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right, so it's show and tell time.
Okay, for my show and tell item, we were in the last live stream that we were doing. We were kind of talking about kits and stuff, get home bags, inch bags, bug out bags, all those kind of things. And I think last time we kind of talked about the large tools, and so I brought the rake last time, which is sitting over there.
2 tools, 1 tup.
Yes, yeah, 2 tools, 1 tup.
Don't think I haven't got a shirt working on that now.
I can't wait. Well, for your bug out bag, because I have the collapsible rake for like camping for not bug out scenarios, but for a bug out bag, one of the tools that I like a lot is the one that's the off-grid tools. This little it's the survival axe basically.
Oh,
which
yeah.
nice hand size. I was just using it downstairs for a hammer because you have a hammer head on the back. You could pry things. You could use it as a pry bar. You have different gas valves on it. You have a glass punch on it. It even has a little saw on the inside of it too, which I don't want to cut. Last time I tried to do this on a live stream, I cut my hand and it was really bad. So, but it's also a little axe for zombies too. So if you're looking for a small tool to include in your bug out bag that gives you a lot of capabilities, and this is not a sponsored thing. I bought this with my own money. So this is the off-grid kill survival axe. It's a little small one. I like the big one too, but this one works really great for emergency kits like a get-home bag or something that you might have in your vehicle. Or and it's pretty small in size too, and you could get a sheath for it as well. So this one's a really nice one. So also has a bottle opener, and you could have a lanyard on it if you want. So that's my show and tell item for this week. So
thank you for showing and telling your unsheathed, tiny, capable tool.
Yes,
we really appreciate that.
You can see it's nice and beat up looking too. It's not the prettiest.
That's a very used. It's been
used.
Yeah, I feel like that used to be marketed like there was a brand name for it, and then maybe there were some other names. Is that like the original one? I want to say it was like a trucker's
friend.
That's
the original one. This is like, I forget if I can't keep track of all the companies on if they sell or whatever, if they change, but yeah, it's from the trucker's friend. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Very cool. So my show and tell, I went non-bougie this time. I like to go back and forth. Bougie preps, non-bougie preps.
Yeah.
This is kind of, I don't know if it's a budget prep, but this is one of those preps I didn't really know existed until I got into this, and then I figured out that it did. And so it's possible that other people don't know about these too. But what I've got are the little refillable sample size medications. So these are the boxes of the little pill pouches that you get like in
at the office,
little tiny thing. Yeah. So I thought that they came in like the first aid kits only, or like hospital supplies or hotel supplies. I didn't know you could buy them. But you can go on Amazon, you can buy all of this kind of stuff and all the refills. So I just grabbed the Advil and the Benadryl because they was the closest ones. But we've got a bunch of Tylenol. They make all different kinds of things. I've got little eye wash, little eye droppers that you can get. So there's all kinds of things. And one of the things that is kind of cool about this, although I do enjoy buying in bulk, everybody who knows me knows that I enjoy Costco and I would buy this in bulk, and it would be cheaper to make little Ziploc bags and all that sort of stuff, is this will have the expiration date on each of the individual pouches. So when you put it in your car, or you put it in a bug out bag, or you put it in a kid's, emergency kit or whatever, and then you forget about it for 6 months or a year or something, and then you're like, wait a minute, is this even still good and potent or whatever? It'll actually say on the thing, as opposed to having to write it down and keep track of that. So for ease of use, for stocking things, for all of that, these are very cool. And if anybody didn't know that these things existed and you can buy them on Amazon, you absolutely can.
Yeah, I like this too. And I used to promote a lot more of like the Imodium AD, like the pills, because I have them in all my kits. And then I started getting this bad. Everyone was talking about diarrhea on my channel, so it probably throttled my reach, because this guy's a diarrhea fanatic or something. So you probably noticed a lot of I haven't been covering like Imodium AD and stuff as much in my kits as what I
was wondering why every time I watched your videos I got Pepto-Bismol ads.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was.
I thought it was important prep. It's like it goes with the whole SHTF, but that really does hit the fan sometimes. If
it's in the name. It's like, how hot is the hot tub? It's in the name. What time is it? 6 o'clock news? It's in the name.
And diarrhea is hereditary too. It runs in your genes, so it's important.
Oh my God. Okay, I was like, what?
Dad joke number 67.
Holy cow! That is. Prepper Jenna wants to know how many headaches. You know what? So many more since I started dealing with this guy. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Sorry,
oh
poop jokes aren't my favorite, but they're a solid number 2. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I'll stop.
The view count just went from 50 to 4. That's what happened right there. We apologize. We'll be writing the apology notes out to everyone. Yeah. All right. So I think we've covered all of that. We've covered our show and tell. It is officially time to prep or not to prep.
Okay.
So
prep. Oh, sorry.
Always,
Okay.
always. By the way, I'm gonna throw up Pony Girl shout out because I like Pony Girl and she was very complimentary to me. So
And there's some good questions coming in too. So I hopefully we'll get to those.
yeah,
Too.
we'll have question time, but she called me out by name and I appreciate that. So yeah,
Pony Girls are,
I'm in charge of the chat thingy, so I can do
she's
that.
kind of MVP right now on this stream, I think.
She, you know, she really is. Bernie's a solid 6.
Bernie's solid. Yeah, super solid.
So to prep or not to prep. So what I was thinking about is a friend of mine. I don't know if he's watching or not. Sim, if you're watching, thank you for this idea. Had sent me a note about National Camp at Home Day. I think it's called. It's either Camp at Home Day or Camp at Outside Day or Camp in Your Backyard Day. It's March 27th. But anyway, it got me thinking about, you know, when we go camping every year or whatever, I tend to take that as an opportunity to practice a lot of our bug-in plans, even though we're going somewhere, making sure that we know like how we would set up the tent. We try out a lot of gear that we don't necessarily have out during the rest of the year. We'll usually take tools and other things with us when we go, specifically to try out in that sort of an environment that we wouldn't here. With National Camp Outside at Your House Day happening this weekend, it just got me thinking about the idea of camping as kind of a practice run for either bugging in or bugging out. And does anybody else think of it that way? Have you thought of it that way? Pros, cons, discuss.
I think yes, I think it's awesome to do that, especially if you have a family, because it's hard to coordinate like real like prepping bug out type scenario stuff with your family, because like you're taking away family time. But if you could integrate it and have it like a 2-for-1 type job, yeah, totally. And that's one of the reasons why we got our kids involved in like Cub Scouts, and my son's in Boy Scouts right now. And they do a lot of like camping type things and survival skills and fire making and all, even how to, water filtration, all sorts of stuff like that. So you could combine them. So yeah, we try to do a lot of that. And I think it's also good for like for practicing like evacuation with your vehicle, like loading up your vehicle in a quick amount of time. Do you have everything in a bin that you could easily put into your vehicle? So I think it helps out with kind of making sure you have everything ready to go at the drop of a hat. I think going on camping trip should be planned on the drop of a hat, and then that could be bundled as a prepping kind of bug out type mock scenario, even though it's really a camping trip. But you as the prepper of the family, because usually there's only one prepper in the family, and everyone else is kind of along for the ride. But I think like you could format you get your kits ready to go. Everyone else thinks it's for a camping trip, but you're really practicing. Okay, let me practice my loadout. Okay, let me practice how many miles I could get to this location that we're going to, and how much gas would I need, and then and then you can also practice the other camping stuff. So
you come up with all kinds. I feel like I have these things, and I'm like, okay, I have the general idea, and then you come up with other things like I should be keeping track of like how many miles we went before the Phillips and everything. Like that's a really great idea, but I've never really done that. Like I've thought rough ideas of like, okay, we have this much gas. We know we can get to. I know we get to Bend on a tank of gas if we needed to, or whatever. But just thinking about, okay, where does the tank get halfway? Where does it get a quarter of the way?
And then maybe that could help plan out if you are into doing survival caches, maybe you could have a couple of survival caches at certain gas up points. So
yeah, exactly. Just wonder why, like have people wonder why there's a guy in a sweatshirt just digging a hole in the middle of a.
And I recommend for survival caches going with like the geocache approach. Like you're a geocacher, you're not survival caching. You're a geocacher, and I'm looking for a geocache. I can just
exactly. I'm looking for a geocache, sir. Why do you have a Sterilite tub with you?
Yeah,
I'm just looking for a geocache. That's all I'm doing.
This geocache is a Sawyer water filter. Oh, awesome!
It's a very useful geocache. I think it's an interesting thing. My son used to be in Cub Scouts for a couple of years. His troop kind of dissolved. My daughter's been in Girl Scouts, but they haven't done a whole lot of like camping sort of a thing. Like the survival aspect isn't necessarily there. They're very much more like entrepreneurial, which I love personally, but from a like keep yourself alive thing, that's not really in there yet. They did make first aid kits and stuff, so I give them points for that. But I think that it's a great opportunity because that is not a thing that is in their life, that the camping trip kind of allows for that. And it is a good excuse to bring things that we might not necessarily, even if we were going like into our backyard, like I'll bring extra ham radios and walkie-talkies, and we'll bring drones, and we'll bring, extra propane ovens and different things to try out when we go, to see how it lives, because we could try everything out in our garage and we know that it'll work there. But if we needed to leave, like, what is the stove that we want to pack, and how much does it space does it take in the car, and is it really good for what we need it for if we were to use it for a few days in a row? Those sorts of things I think is a really great thing to do from a camping bug out, perspective sort of thing.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I have a video on like the containers and modules that I have in the garage, and one of the reasons for having them there is so they could quickly go into the vehicle. And I've been building kind of our camping one for that purpose as well. That could also be kind of like an overlanding type kit. So
yeah, we with the last couple of times when we've come back from camping, we redid our shelving, so we now have a shelf that's in the front of our garage with all of our, essentially, like, our key camping things. We've got, my wife will tell you, we have more supplies and things in our garage than we should probably have. I say no such thing. There is no too much when it comes to this sort of thing. She's like, do we really need 38 lanterns? And I'm like, we are so underfunded on the lanterns. We need 60 or 70 of them. But we've got the tubs for bedding and cooking and shelter. The tents are kind of have their handles out, so if we needed to go, we could throw 6 or 8 tubs in the back of a car and go, and we would have a good amount of everything, as opposed to I feel like you have one tub that you would put in there and you would be good to go. I have like 6 or 8.
Good. Cool. I'm seeing all these the chat room is lively with good questions.
Our Cliff and Casey related
conspiracy theory right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we are.
You've never seen us in the same place at the same time, except on this stream, and that may or may not be real. That's fantastic.
Yeah, maybe not.
I've seen a bunch of questions, so I feel like we've covered off on camping. Everyone likes camping. That's a good thing. There are so many comments, so many things happening in here.
That's exactly how I tricked my kids into prepping. Yeah.
Yes.
It's all about tricking your kids into prepping. Yeah.
Exactly. I had to trick my kids into going, and then when they were there, then we tricked them into prepping, and now they're all on board. Also, my friends had to trick me into going camping to begin with, which is a whole nother story. But now it's like, okay, sure. What can we do? How can we do this? Pigs fly. When you're done camping, make sure you ask the family what you need next time and look at things you may need. 110% correct.
That's why it's good to have like a little notepad on you, because I sometimes I get ideas when I'm driving or out and about. Oh, I gotta have that, and so because I'll forget about it otherwise. So,
do you write those down while you're driving too? Because I feel like from a safety perspective, maybe not the best idea. But
yeah, you could. I have a voice assistant.
Okay,
I could use at times. So I try to follow the rules and be safe when I can. So.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think I actually wrote a blog post a couple of years ago on my blog when I went camping for the first time about the idea of going camping and then reviewing what had happened. Things like we got like a little broom to brush out the tent because we didn't have that originally, and so we were borrowing the other people. We had I call them our camping mentors, and they were like, they went camping all the time, and then we were like 3 families who had never really gone camping who were like learning from them. So they brought enough stuff to make sure we were fine, and we all brought just a bunch of stuff that we didn't know if it would work or not. And then over the years, we've got it down to a science, and we know what we're doing now.
It always feels good to be like that person that's prepared for all these kind of things, and it's like where people will get impressed. I saw someone talking about this from Mark at the beginning of the pandemic when I pulled out 4 boxes of N95 masks. My wife, it's those kind of moments are where you can help recruit people into camping or recruit them into prepping. So being that person, like the MacGyver or the Batman, could help recruit them into the
exactly. World. Yeah, we showed up at our first campsite, and all the other families had exactly the same brand new Costco tent. We all had the brand new Costco cots. We had the same sleeping bags. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, these guys are all doing it the same. Having an ongoing list of supplies on your phone, 100%. I'm a big fan of OneNote on my phone because it'll sync everywhere. And then you can have multiple lists. So you can have a camping supply list. I have prepping project list. I have multiple lists going all the time, and then we can share them. So my wife can have access, and if she thinks of something, then she adds it to the list. If her and her friends are talking about something, she can add it. So I'm a big proponent of doing that sort of thing.
Yep. I see a Prepper Agenda had these are, I'm looking at the latest ones. So
yeah.
Now I was curious, Prepper, like, is that a waste, like human waste, or is that like garbage? Like, I didn't know on what you meant on that one.
Yeah. So garbage wise, I think we will probably do some sort of a burn barrel or something like that. The human waste thing, we actually, depending on the length of the disaster, our last camping round, we upped our human waste game, as it were. And part of it was because when we were going, the campgrounds that we go to kept changing their COVID restrictions. So we weren't sure, like, if we were going to be able to shower, if we were going to be able to use the bathrooms. Like, we weren't sure day to day. So we just came prepared. I had showers. I had all the stuff. We have a little pop-up tent for some privacy and a toilet seat. Because it's me and I'm a bougie prepper, it's an actual one with arms. It's not just the one that goes on the bucket, although I do have that one too, just in case. And we've got the double duty bags. So for a couple of weeks, we could use those and that would be okay. And then after that, we can either use pine shavings from our chicken coop, not the ones in the chicken coop, but we have fresh ones ready to go that we could use, or we can just, dig a hole in the corner of our yard or something and go that route.
Yeah, I think, and it looks like we're talking human. I was making all the poop jokes, and we came right back to poop. So
exactly.
I think the best Prepper Agenda brought us there.
Human.
It's human. Yeah, yeah. I think you're gonna have to make some kind of makeshift outhouse. I don't know if you really need to. Should I pre-dig the hole? I'm curious. Prepper Agenda. We should talk offline. It's like, do you have your two? I think he said 2 months. Like 2 months. Do you pre-dig that one, or do you do that when the time comes? So
2 months. I think also there's a question about what sort of a disaster would you be in for 2 months, because I think there's some, like,
because if it's in the wintertime, it'd be hard to dig too. Like,
also true, but I think, like, for us, if we're thinking about like earthquakes, I think our goal is to be wherever we are for a couple of weeks and then get evacuated out to somewhere else in the in the United States East, where there's going to be running water and supplies. So it's really managing to evacuation at least for me, it's managing to evacuation. But something else, a 2-month ice storm or something like that, or grid down or something, it need to be something that would knock out the water supply at the same time.
Looks like now he just upped it to 6 months.
So, oh my goodness. Prepper Agenda. If we don't have toilets if we don't have toilets for 6 months, my mental state is not going to be in a good spot. So
he says no digging. He says not digging too. So
not digging. What are you going to do?
He has an idea. So I'm curious what.
Prepper Agenda. What, you can't tease us like this. The power grid has gone down. It's 6 months. I'm assuming you're talking an EMP.
It could be a realistic type thing. Well, it could be. I guess there's a lot of maybe
or ransomware. I mean, something like that.
There's some other questions that I saw. I know that I like talking poop stuff, but let's see. Sorry.
That's a YouTube short right there.
Any thoughts on prepping for a cyber attack? That was from El Hernandez. Yeah, I know that. I think Prepper Agenda, that's one of the main topics that he focuses on, is like what does he call it? Cyber pandemic, I think that's what it was. But yeah, I do a lot of backups of like Wikipedia, and you have to have different ways of communication methods. And I think knowledge is one of the things that I'm most concerned about for like any kind of cyber attack. But yeah, any thoughts on prepping? I think it's good to have backups of data. So
yeah, I think
communication.
Yeah, I think for some of it, it also depends on what the extent of the cyber attack. Are you talking about we're knocking out all of the cyber, or are we knocking out your local? And so that's, we've got backups for photos and documents and all that sort of stuff. And I've got Cliff's downloadable Wikipedia thing, because that's super awesome.
Yeah. So I think like it seems like there was a cyber attack. One of the things is, okay, what's the information that I'm getting? Because a lot of what I do is surfing and just getting information. So you'd have to get that through other ways. And then the other one's communicating with your family members. So transmitting of information, and then the other one's just kind of data, like the what kind of a knowledge, like how to do certain things, like how to stuff. So
Yeah. All right, we're coming up on
coming up to
6:06.
I have to pick up my daughter.
The
in a little.
dog is alerting you
Did
that
you
it's
hear
almost
that?
time to go.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone
Sorry.
in your house is screaming.
Yeah.
So I think what we probably should do, because I really don't want mom to be pissed at me.
She might.
Like, she can be pissed at like all the other preppers that you live stream with, but I want to stay on her good side. So I think what we probably need to do is wrap it up for tonight. Please,
go big
everyone.
next time.
Exactly. There's 69 people watching right now. Go ahead and subscribe. We do this every Wednesday night, except when Tup reschedules.
I have to do next week's a little later, unless I could do it live at location from downtown Seattle. Maybe I could use
from the bunker in downtown Seattle,
I can't
or
exactly where it is, but I might have to go on headset mode like telemarketer, but we'll see.
All right, we'll figure it out. But in the meantime, subscribe to all the channels, hit the like button, and keep your eyes out. We will make sure that everybody gets notified. I usually put something out ahead of time on my social stuff of when we're going live and what the topic's going to be. Tup usually will put stuff out on his. So go ahead and let us know, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for stopping by. Tup, go hydrate and pick up your daughter, and we'll see y'all next week. Thanks a lot.